Every Kevin Costner baseball movie ranked. There is no actor more associated with baseball movies than Kevin Costner. In fact, Costner is likely more associated with all sports films than any other actor, given how many he's appeared in. It's not just quantity, though, as Costner also appeared in some of the best movies in the genre. There's an argument to be made about which genre is Costner's best, westerns or sports. Whenever people think of the actor, their minds will usually go to one of those genres. While the discussion is close, it feels like sports movies just edge out westerns for Costner's greatest genre. In total, Kevin Costner has appeared in 5 baseball movies throughout his career. The interesting thing is that he almost never repeats a character, portraying a pitcher, a catcher, and people who aren't even actually on the field during the game. It makes for an impressive and varied list. Chasing Dreams 1982. If you've never heard of Chasing Dreams, that's totally fine. In fact, not many people have. The 1982 film hasn't been seen by a lot of people, and even those who have watched it have likely forgotten about it. However, it is notable because of Kevin Costner's role. Chasing Dreams is officially the second movie in Kevin Costner's filmography, after another little-known project called Sizzle Beach, USA, though he only has a small part. In it, he plays the older brother of the protagonist. The plot is relatively straightforward, focusing on a teenage boy who grew up on a farm and discovers that he's actually really good at baseball. It's fitting that one of Costner's first ever movies was about baseball because it helped set the tone for the rest of his career. The Upside of Anger, 2005. After years of establishing himself as a sports movie king, Kevin Costner kind of returned to the genre in 2005. It's easy to understand if you were unaware, though, because baseball isn't a huge part of The Upside of Anger. This romantic comedy drama tells the story of Terry, Joan Allen, a mother of 4 who hits rock bottom after her husband runs off with his secretary. She ultimately finds solace in her next-door neighbor, a retired baseball player named Denny, who is played by Kevin Costner. Denny comes with his own issues due to some hard drinking problems. Reviews for The Upside of Anger were strong, with a lot of praise going toward the chemistry between Costner and Allen. The supporting cast includes talents like Erica Christensen, Carrie Russell, Evan Rachel Wood, and Alicia Witt. Many people believe that Denny is based on real-life baseball player Denny McLain. He was a pitcher for the Detroit Tigers who went on to host his own radio show, like the Denny in the film. This would be an interesting connection because Costner actually played a Tigers pitcher in another movie. For Love of the Game, 1999. That film where Kevin Costner portrayed a Detroit Tigers pitcher is For Love of the Game. A rare sports movie made by horror film guru Sam Raimi, For Love of the Game is the most underrated baseball project to ever feature Kevin Costner. Unlike the top 2 Kevin Costner baseball movies, For Love of the Game received mixed reviews and currently holds a 47% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of the reviews suggested that the film's baseball sequences are strong, but the romantic subplot misses the mark. That makes the mixed reviews understandable as the romance takes up a big chunk of the 2.5-hour film. The premise of For Love of the Game sees Costner's Billy Chappell in the midst of trying to throw a perfect game in his final start at Yankee Stadium, with flashbacks of his romantic life spliced in. Costner and Kelly Preston had solid chemistry, but those scenes just bogged down the film. The baseball stuff, including Costner's relationship with his catcher, John C. Reilly, is a blast. Plus, the film features commentary by legendary broadcaster Vin Scully, making it feel more authentic. Field of Dreams 1989. For so many people, Field of Dreams is their favorite baseball movie. There's even an episode of How I Met Your Mother where the guys reminisce about their love of the film and get upset when a friend considers it a bad movie. This is another baseball flick where Costner doesn't portray a player. Instead, Field of Dreams sees Costner play Ray Kinsella, a farmer who had a troubled relationship with his late father, who was a huge baseball fan. Ray hears a voice telling him to build a baseball field on his farm, and when he finally does, ghosts of legendary players appear, including shoeless Joe Jackson. At times, it's a sappy movie, but that's part of the charm, and it shows the beautiful side of baseball and how it can bring people together. In fact, Major League Baseball recently played a Field of Dreams game at a cornfield in Iowa, and it was a special moment. Field of Dreams was a pretty strong box office success, while being nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It also has a lasting legacy that has helped it remain a classic and was selected for preservation by the National Film Registry. Bull Durham, 1988. Not only is Bull Durham the best baseball movie in Kevin Costner's career, but it has a strong case for the greatest baseball film ever made. Right off the bat, there's something beautiful about it focusing on a minor league team rather than a major league club. Bull Durham follows Lawrence "Crash" Davis Costner, a veteran catcher brought to play for the Durham Bulls to help mentor a cocky, yet talented young pitcher named Calvin "Nuke" Walsh. While learning to play together, both vie for the affection of the team's loyal fan, Annie Savoy's Susan Sarandon. Kevin Costner gives his best performance in any baseball movie, making Crash into a lovable character. The relationship dynamics between Crash, Nuke, and Annie are among the best ever depicted in any sports film. Bull Durham was ranked as the greatest sports movie of all time by Sports Illustrated and is the best reviewed sports film on Rotten Tomatoes, where it holds a 97% rating. It honestly has a case for being the best movie Kevin Costner ever made, regardless of genre.